evaluator, Tyler Chen.
Thank you. All right, now we're on to the evaluation portion. Some people say it's the most, actually it is the most important section of the meeting because now it's where we learn, where we improve, and what we've done well in. We had a very profound and powerful table topics. It was very emotional, I would say, so it feels kind of weird to be doing evaluations now where we kind of start to criticize what we've done, so yeah, it's kind of awkward, but it's okay. All right, so now let's move on to the first evaluator. We'll be evaluating our first speaker, Anor. It will be Nasir Wise. So it'll be for 2 to 3 minutes.
So this was Anor's first speech. It was his icebreaker, and we got to find out that he had a journey of sports to find himself. I would never guess you played video games. That just blew my mind. So like, I feel like for your first speech, it was really good how you control the stage. You walk from over here, where you change sports, like to really show the separation of the points, like the beginning, middle, and end of your story. And then you didn't stutter. You only had a couple of ums here and there. You didn't like pace around, and it was really good because it was your first speech, and you also didn't have any notes. So I feel like some things you could work on is like, since you're already like past the nervousness, that's all about it. You could like try vocal variety. So I feel like some points I remember you could like really use it, like when you were playing defense in soccer, you could like use a sad tone, and then when you like found out your favorite sport, like frisbee, ultimate frisbee, you could have used like more excited tone, and like that to show that you really love the sport, like that. And overall, it was a great speech. Can't wait to hear it from you next time.
All right, now we'll move on to the next evaluator, Enrique, who will be evaluating Christopher Lee's icebreaker.
So I gotta say, like, I really enjoyed your speech. I thought it was fantastic. You injected humor into it, which was really good. Now I definitely know not to ride with you anywhere, maybe to your house, but even then, maybe right for cooking. No, but like I really did enjoy your speech. It was very. You had good stage presence. You were calm, right? You were charismatic. I think that charisma really shined, and it enabled us to really connect with your story and connect with you especially, right? So you did a good job of showing who you were. You said that normally you're like chill, you're pretty relaxed, you're pretty reserved. But when you're driving, a different you comes out, right? And you did a good job of elaborating that, of illustrating that different persona, yeah? Of being impatient or like being road rage in general, you know? Being a bit of a speed demon too. But yeah, I think you did very well. You spoke very clearly, very audibly. Like for the most part, you didn't seem very nervous at all. Your voice didn't really like shake or anything like that, which I think is pretty incredible because when I first started speaking, that was me like all the time. But yeah, you did really good on that point. Yeah, your speech had a good flow and rhythm. I definitely could tell. Like, you know, first you mentioned how yeah, it had a good flow and rhythm. You know, as a clear beginning, middle, and end, and that was good. You definitely did a good job of delineating different sections of your speech. You did use your notes, but what I did like is that you didn't depend on them. They weren't a crutch to you. They're more of like a supplement material. You know, you look at them every once in a while to see where you were. You know what I mean? So yeah, you did good on there. What else? That was the only thing that I really would have. So like, the only thing that I would really recommend that you seek to improve would be maybe moving around a little bit more when you're maybe changing, when you're maybe speaking on different points. When you're done with like maybe one particular point, you're moving towards another. You can maybe move around there, right? Definitely just try to move around a little bit more. Use maybe more gestures, vocal variety. But again, those are things that you implement later on in your Toastmasters career, right? But for now, you're doing really good. And yeah, that's more than I can say. Oh yeah, one last thing. Making a little bit more eye contact. Show the love, right? I feel like you were looking at one particular person, maybe one or two, right? But you could definitely show the people that they're also there in their room. You know what I mean? What else? But yeah, I thought you did great, man. Really appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, and now we'll move on to the last evaluator of the day, Jessica Parks, will be evaluating Tyler.
Next speech, I'm evaluating myself. Only I would do that, huh? So, this weekend I went to a Toastmasters conference, and I learned a wonderful evaluation tool, so I'm going to implement that today. So first thing, Tyler, could you please stand up, because you deserve Since I'm corny, I'm going to use a food analogy. You appetized me with your opening by leaving the trash there, walking by, get away from the trash, why don't you get a job? Just all of that foolishness that people say about the homeless, because I hear that in my head, and when I heard you do that, I just thought about all the experiences I've had with the homeless, and so immediately I felt empty. I felt inferior just hearing somebody being treated that way, and so if I felt that way, I wouldn't want to do that for someone else. So thank you for that. That was awesome. Going into the body, so the main course of the meal. When you did the spectrum of privilege, you did a great job, because I'm financially down here. But I'm going to come up here. You did a good job of showing that. How dare you up here judge somebody down here? And that was phenomenal. And I think what really would have hit that home, when you sat down, I'm not going to sit down in this dress, but when you sat down, why not tell the story as if you were the homeless man? They walk past me every day, they call me trash. I can't help it that I'm here. I started here and I just went down, or I started up here and went down. I think that would have really just brought everything home, not to say you didn't do a great job. You know how you get the second plate of the main course? So this is the second plate. When you told the story about it being a hot day and all the details about you being in Tipton, I thought that was really good, because now I can put myself in the situation, when I walked downtown Atlanta and how they were making fun of the homeless guy and it was hot, and I'm just like, I should have said something, but I didn't. So I can relate to that story. I felt bad for not taking on a more proactive role. Something that probably would have drove that further would have been a little bit more facts, a little bit more logic, because you do a really good job with the emotional appeal, but since it's persuasive, maybe adding a few statistics. What percentage of Tipton is homeless? How many people in Tipton? And the reason why I say this is because there was a statistic about finance that I had to run, and the number of people affected was the size of Atlanta. And so when I was in Atlanta, everybody's like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna be poor because I'm sitting in Atlanta right now. And so it really just makes people think about things differently when you add those numbers. I think that would have added a little bit more to your speech. And then lastly, when you're ready to leave the restaurant, you always have to have dessert. Red velvet cheesecake, thank you. And you really did a good job of sweetening up your speech when you ended by saying, I'm going to misquote you. You can spend all your time pleasing everybody, but you need to spend some time doing something good for somebody? Is that kind of close?
No.
No.
When you wait to do everything for everybody, you miss the opportunity to do something for somebody.
Yes. So that it resonated with me when I butchered it, because it now leads me into kind of the doggy bag, where I'm going to take home something, and now I'm going to figure out what I need to do to better serve the homeless. Thank you.
All right, so that concludes the evaluation portion of the speakers. Now we'll go on to the reports. Can the all-counter, Ikra, can you give us the all-counter report for today?
It's a little here and there, okay, so bear with me. Josh, you're the Toastmaster today. You were remarkable. You had barely any. I don't have an exact number, but I know that I was impressed. So, pretty sure it was a tiny number. Honor, My name's 4 letters too, and I can't get it right. Like,
Honor.
Okay, Honor. All right, so you had, you were very, very smooth for like an icebreaker. I'm like, this is not your first speech. You can't say. I'm not convinced. Probably make it better. But yeah, you had like 2. There you go. But you relied on like conjunctions and but. So just make sure that you complete a thought and you move on to the next one. Pausing helps, but because we'll continue on sentences for like 4 years. So, but yeah, not a unique problem. Everybody does it. And then Chris, also wonderful. I'm like, how is this y'all's first speeches? Like my first speech sucked. Okay. Anyway, you had 3 fillers, and you're a liker. You fall back on, and so and like was like those were your 2 big ones. So I just stopped counting. I'm just kidding. But you had a couple in there, and one but overall wonderful speech. Tyler, that was so eye-opening. Fine, I did not see that coming from that corner. You spoke so clearly, I saw nothing. If there was, I didn't even register. So kudos to you, son. Okay, so I wasn't here for like table topics. I had to duck out for a minute, but so I guess nobody had any on.
Okay.
Good job, y'all. Progress. Good day. Harrison, you just got back on. It happens. Whatever. I'm doing it right now. Shimon, you had 1 so, 1 you know. You know was also like a lot of us do that's colloquial. Everybody just you say you know a lot. Bless you. Oh my goodness. That's just threw me off. But otherwise, I'll give myself 20. So that's where they all are. And Jessica didn't have any. None of these values. You know what? Everybody's been great today.
She's done.
And then Monday, can you give us the grammar report for today, please?
Will do. Good evening. Our word of the day was obfuscate, which I can't even pronounce, even though I chose that word. Serena was, I believe, the only person to use the word during our meeting, so congrats to her. She used it 1 time. All she needed. Now for the grammarian report itself, honor, you just had run-on sentences. That was just a common issue that's apparent in multiple icebreaker speeches. It's just the usage of conjunctions, 2 conjunctions back to back, such as and so, and then, and, a couple of words, I join and. It's very basic things that could be easily fixed. Another sentence you started with was he was like. Instead it should have been something as if he stated, he responded, he said, he exclaimed something. A better transition would have been better for that. Chris Lee, in 1 sentence he stated, will picture me as a chill person. Since that's in the present tense, it should be pictured as a chill person, or my friends picture me as a chill person. Again, run-ons, just using so or and like. Another one was, but fortunately, just try to limit it to 1 conjunction, such as fortunately or for, thus. An adjective he used was super bad. I think maybe some different adjective, such as horrific, horribly, would have been a better usage. Tyler Burnett, the only thing I found there was you started a sentence by stating and say instead of let's say. Not evaluators, table topics shouldn't. I may have misheard, but I believe I heard a sentence that was, I have very excited topics. I think that the sentence should have stated, I have very exciting topics. Serena, just the main run-on with and so. And another sentence you stated so, a couple of words, so they, which kind of led to a run-on. Zach, I didn't notice anything. Jazz, you fix yourself quickly. I heard monument, but you didn't really finish the word. You said monumental. It's Jazz. Okay, not bad. I was like, wait, I'm mixing up the twins. Jade, honestly, I didn't notice anything because I was very entranced by your speech. I didn't notice anything either. Harrison is just using colloquial terms such as you know. Shivam, kinda similar boat. It's just you try to avoid kinda, you knows. Christopher, Mr. Liker, he just stated and like. Evaluators, Tyler, I didn't notice anything. Great job. Jessica, I heard and so, just 2 conjunctions back to back. Nasir used so like, is like, again, try to limit on the conjunctions. Enrique, try to limit on colloquialisms that you kept saying right, you know what I mean. Another one was, that was like me all the time, or yeah, that was me like all the time. Instead it should have been, I did that all the time. Other than that, that was basically what I had for today's grammar report.
Cool, thank you. Can you give us the timer report for the evaluators, please?
Yeah, so times are all over the place, and Sarah, you're about 30 seconds short from your time. Enrique was on time, and Jessica, you're about 26 seconds.
Alright, so all within 30 seconds within the beginning, or the minimum, and 30 seconds after the maximum. So I would say the other one. So while I give my general evaluation, please also pass in your evaluator, or your ballots for who's the best evaluator today. So I'm going to also give my general evaluation. So Josh, this is your first time as Toastmaster today. You started, I would say, a minute after 5:30, which is one of the earliest times you started in the past month, which is very good. It's also your first time, so kudos to you. And also, you did handle the drop of 2 speakers very well. We still had the flow of the meeting consistent. Like nothing was thrown off or anything, and you came on, you were very commanding and powerful on stage. Like you weren't thrown off or anything. And even when the camera cut out, you're still good to go, so it's all good. And also, I liked how you printed the agendas in color. That's one of the first times you did that, so you don't have to do that in color. I like the sides, like the links. Yeah, so you don't have to print it in color next time to save money, so it's all good. All right, and then for the evaluators, I would say Nasir, I liked how you pointed out that Honor transitioned by moving to the stage with different spots on the stage. So if you talk about one sport right here and maybe to another sport, keep you over here. I saw that too, and I like that you pointed that out, which is really good. And then you also brought up how you can improve one big thing, which is vocal variety, by bringing emotion into your speech. That's something I didn't really think of, so that's really clever. So yeah, bringing emotion to your speech to bring out vocal variety is really good. So, good thing in mind. And then Enrique, I like how you brought out Chris's charisma. It's something that we don't usually see in the first speech, someone coming out here with so much energy, humor. Usually they're more reserved in the first speech, so I like that you brought that out as a key note. And then I also like how you mentioned one main improvement that Chris can work on, which is that he didn't really move with so much purpose. He couldn't rock back and forth or swing his arms a lot. That's what I did, so I like how you mentioned that as one of the main things to work on. And then, Jessica, I like how you brought in a new structure for the evaluations with the dinner courses. Very clever. You learned that in the Macon meeting?
Yeah.
So, over the weekend.
She got first place.
Shepherd's place.
No, she got first place in the evaluation contest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, let's just copy.
So, looks like Jessica brought in a contest-winning evaluation structure to the meeting, which is very cool. New structure is something we haven't seen in a while, so if you guys are wondering how to do an evaluation for another speech in the future, you can use this dinner course as a way to structure your evaluation. And also like that you mentioned that you found something for Tyler to improve on in a very good pocket speech, which I struggled to find something for him to improve on. But you managed to find something for him to improve on, such as changing up the point of view, which is something I didn't really think of, where he spoke mostly in third person or from his own personal point of view, and instead you could bring out the homeless person or just other people in general. That's something I didn't really think of, so good idea. And then moving on to the reports, I would say they were very good. Your candidates were very in-depth, like very in-depth. And then Icarus, although you missed table topics, I can see you're kind of busy.
I think that was right. Everything's good today.
But for both of you, next time I would say stand up when you're doing the report so that everyone else can see who's giving the report, because I saw a few people in the third row in the back can't really see who's speaking sometimes. And also it helps project the reports to the rest of the room. And then finally, for table topics, I would say the questions are very good. They're very open. This is probably the most powerful table topics we've had at Toastmasters here. I never had so many people get emotional and get so sincere during table topics. So it's very different and also very good. Also, I like how you managed to pick different people throughout the table topics. It was very good. All right, so that concludes my general evaluations of the meeting. So with 12 minutes left, I'd like to introduce the Toastmaster back up to the stage to close and I guess bring me up later. All right, Josh Baker.
So at this point, I'm supposed to thank you all for coming.